Saturday, right? Because I want to have an extravaganza for my wedding.
That sounds
Okay.
like a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have so many people there. I'm gonna have rock people.
Can I not show
I'm gonna
up?
have old friends from high school. I'm gonna have comedians, actors, all kinds of people, right? And I would love to invite Anthony Jesselnik, right? Because he's never been invited to a wedding.
I right before the pandemic, I actually did go. Megan Gailey, one of my openers, got married to her husband CJ, and I went to that. I went out to Palm Springs and was there. Went solo.
Who's Megan
and
Gailey?
enjoyed it.
The girl who hates you.
Oh, that's right.
Because you told her to not.
You
show
opened
up.
for her in San Antonio.
No, she opened for me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
And you gave her a hard time about.
Oh, that's who Megan Gailey is.
I wish I hadn't
And
brought up her name.
you're-
She does hate.
No.
And you're in the wrong for that.
All right, fine, but let me defend myself.
Okay.
All right. I'm sure she's a nice woman, and you're friends with her. And
Love her to death, like a sister. And I've heard the story.
what's the story? What's the story?
What it sounds to me, and I'll be as polite as I can be, you were having a tough time that weekend, just being on the road. I don't know if you were lonely or like what, weren't enjoying the shows, and kind of took it out on the green room.
No,
and she
that's
was
not
part of it.
No, that's not what it was.
This is a very vague. I don't know the details. She told me the story, and it's not like something she talks about a lot. It was just, I think we were in the same old place, and she brought it up, but
Okay.
you gave her a hard time.
Okay, all I did. All right,
Sorry, I can't defend you with this.
I'm not defending myself.
Okay.
I want to apologize to Megan Gailey.
Yeah.
Can I do that? All right. I'm just going to tell you my point of view, though, real quick. Okay.
We already talked about that too, and your point of view really is not a good one either. But go ahead, we can try.
Remix it.
Okay.
We'll remix.
So just to throw it out there. Okay.
Before you even start, Megan Gailey, consummate professional. I cannot imagine a world in which she was in the wrong here. But go ahead.
Oh, it's a tough one, man. You got to get out of that.
Yeah. All right. So, number one, I was having a great time. I was having a great time. Great numbers at the club. It's a huge club, right? And also, I wasn't lonely because Jade Catapretta was my feature. All right. So she's a friend of mine. So one night, Megan Gailey, dressed in a ballroom gown as an MC, and I just look at his look. And
I'm waiting for the part that you think she's at fault for.
Exactly.
Right.
You didn't like the way she was dressed. You're MC.
Yeah, you know what? Let's back up for a second. I'm in the wrong.
We've already told you.
I'm in the
years
wrong.
you've
I'm
been
in the wrong. I'm in the wrong. And what I shouldn't have done is what I did, and I feel bad about it. And I just found it was a weird energy. Her going up with a ballroom gown.
Yeah, but Bobby, no one makes a fuss out of what you wear, and sometimes you wear construction gear too.
I'm the headliner.
God,
I think that being
It's
on the road,
my show.
you might not be having a bad time, but you've been on the road a long time. You just start to get the gravity becomes heavier, and you're just not yourself. You know, it's like you're starting to be a jerk, and you're like, why am I being a jerk right now? And you're like, oh, I haven't eaten all day. You know, it's like one of those things. I haven't been
Yes.
sleeping right.
That's
I've been
exactly
traveling
it.
too much. Like I've been
That's what
staying in hotels.
That's what it is.
I'm in a bad mood
They
now.
probably didn't have sugar-free Red Bull.
Yeah. And-
Something.
All right,
was
here's
just-
what I
and now I'm
want.
taking on people around
Here's
me.
what I want, and see if you can pull this off, George. Okay. And I am going to. Can you invite her to do our podcast? Okay.
Good fucking luck.
Oh, you don't think I can?
I think you can invite her.
Okay. I want to apologize to her, right? I'm going to buy her gifts.
Here, this is why it's already not going to work.
Why?
Why don't, without you turning it into a show, apologize to someone genuinely and in private?
That's the thing with comics now is they're like, let's talk it out on the air, and it's like, no. If we've got a problem, we can talk it out as people.
Okay, can you find me her email?
Well, you could just find her on Instagram. That's an easy one. DM her saying, look, like,
I'll direct message her on Instagram. All right, because we're not following each other, so it's going to go to her other groupings, and she's not going to read it because I did that with a bunch of guys. Right? They don't read it.
that's correct.
Right. So it's like, should I just give it a go on Instagram?
Just give it a go. Also, you
Yeah.
have friends that know her. Santino knows her. They're friends. Anthony knows her.
Yeah.
I think she had a negative experience with you, and it was a small one. But so it's not like the end of the world. Like there have been people that I'm like, that guy was a fucking dick. It's like, no, he's normally cool, and then you get to know them, and you're like, oh, I met them on a bad day. I don't know what was going on in their life. Maybe I was in a bad mood.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like you can give people second chances. You hear a reputation, you meet them, and you're like, oh, you're different than that.
You know, that's my. You know what? That's my lifelong goal, and I'm not gonna do it on air, right? I'm not gonna do it on air, and I am in the wrong. I just really feel that, and I feel bad about it, and you know, here's another thing: is I have little fires everywhere.
Me too.
I have little fires everywhere, and I think that's next year I'm gonna put those fires out.
But they're like, I've gotten in fights with MCs before. You know, I'm in a club and the MC does something that I don't like. I had an MC once, Megan was my feature, and the MC tweeted like, ever been in a green room and had no one talk to you? Not fun. And I found out after the weekend that I was like, I would have fired her that second. And I'll never see this girl again, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But sometimes you like, I'll never see them again, who cares? We had a bad interaction. But then they keep going and you're like, okay, now we're in the same universe and I should fix this. You know, I've thought about it differently.
Yeah.
I've seen you as a different person.
Yeah.
But I'm totally all for having a bad experience and writing someone off forever. I will cut the cord.
Yeah. I think in Megan Gailey's case, that I was in the wrong, and I know it. I was in a mood. I'll tell you what was going on in my life. All right,
You weren't doing well.
I wasn't doing well in my career. I was desperate. All I had was the road, and that was the only thing that was making me money. I didn't have any real
Podcast.
no podcasts at the time. I had nothing going on, you know. And now, I was living in the apartment too, right? Yeah. And
this was before I met you.
oh, it's before I met her even. So I was in then I was in a real bad state, desperate, you know. And I since I met you, my life has completely changed 180, and you know things are great. But
Are you talking to me or her?
just in general.
Okay.
Megan or Anthony? Which one?
Oh, Megan. So yeah, I'm talking to Megan right now, right? And so I'm just talking to myself. I'm thinking out loud.
Right now, what we've been doing, talking about Megan Gailey, is more than Megan Gailey has thought about this in her entire life.
That's true. That's true.
Like, she does not think about this. Like, I'm sure she would accept your apology and be like, okay, if you want to talk, but like, this is not something that she like falls asleep thinking about. She ran into an asshole. You ever hear that phrase? If you wake up one day, you run into an asshole in the morning,
That hurts.
you ran into an asshole.
Yeah.
You run into assholes all day, you're the asshole.
Right.
Guess which one of you's the asshole?
I'm the asshole. But you're right. I was an asshole. All right.
But it's okay to be an asshole. You're allowed to slip up and be an asshole. Like, I've just been under a lot of pressure on the road, and like when I snap at somebody backstage, I'm like, that's normally not what I'm like. And if I can apologize, sure. If I never see them again, that's okay too. Give yourself permission to slip up every now and again. But yeah, if you can make it right, make it right.
No, but but to be honest with you, if I was in the wrong, I have to make amends because, you know, I'll be honest. Another honest thing is that I've only heard great things about her on stage and off of stage. That she's a sweet girl and she's friends with so many people that I know, and I've been trying for years to get people on my side.
This is the last stop.
Yeah, this is the last stop. And I just realized that I'm 100% in the wrong. You know what I mean? And my ego got in the way, and I was an asshole. And I was in a bad place in my career, and I was acting out, and I was treating people like shit because I was like feeling shit about myself. And I would never do that today, ever, right? I'm just so different.
You really got it together now.
I feel it. Thank you. And no, honestly, I feel now like I did when I started, like in the beginning of in 2000 when I was getting shit and I was, you know, getting the Tonight Show and all these things. And then I spent 15 years with nothing. And then I feel now reinvented again. And I think that's what's great about stand-up is that there's always a shot of staying in it. You know what I mean?
You can focus on stand-up. It's like these TV things, they'll come, they'll go, whatever. But you have stand-up you can control. You're the master of your own destiny, I believe is the phrase.